Tokyo is the capital city of Japan and one of the most populated cities with around 13 million people, with the greater Tokyo areas being the most populous metropolitan area in the entire world, with 37 million residents as of 2020. That's absolutely insane. So with that many people, you can imagine that the city has a lot of stories, good and bad and spooky. So today on Top 5 Scary Videos, I'm going to be counting down our list of the top 5 scary Tokyo urban legends. Before we begin though, be sure to stick around until the end of the video where I'll be responding to some of your comments. Also, I'm going to try my hardest with the pronunciations, but don't slaughter me in the comments if I mess something up. I'm doing my best. And with that, let's jump in. Coming in at number 5, Ghost Taxi. Back in 2011, Japan was struck by a 9.0 to 9.1 magnitude earthquake. It was the most powerful earthquake ever recorded in Japan and the 4th most powerful earthquake in the world since modern record keeping began in 1900. The earthquake triggered powerful tsunami waves that may have reached heights up to 40.5 meters, which is absolutely terrifying. Now, a few years after this catastrophic event, stories of ghosts, specifically ghost taxis, began circulating in areas that were directly affected by the tsunami. However, this isn't new. According to reports, many Tokyoites have been telling stories about spectral passengers since way back when. One common legend is of pedestrians hailing down taxis and asking to be taken to Ayama Cemetery. When they arrive, the driver tells them the price and turns around to collect the fare, but there's no one in the back seat. Very spooky. Now, this legend may have some merit, as it turns out the opening of the Chiada line in the late 1960s brought on some interesting problems as it ran directly under the cemetery. Now, the legend goes that some of these souls got lost on the trains and they're attempting to get back home via these ghost taxis. It's actually pretty sad. Coming in at number 4, the Regina of Akasaka Road. This is a legend popular among students who have taken a history class nearby Sophia University. Kino Kunai Saka is a hill running past Akasaka Palace towards Akasaka stations and serves as the setting for this dark and haunting legend. I quote, "A man hears wailing while walking down the slope at night and sees a beautiful girl, dressed as if she is from a wealthy family, weeping on the banks of the moat. The man stops to ask her if she's okay and to console her, but the girl continues to weep while hiding her face behind one of the long sleeves of her kimono. While he keeps on pleading with the girl to stop crying, she slowly rises up with her back turned to him and then turns towards him and wipes her face with her hands, as if to wipe away tears. But it turns out she has no face, just a blank slate where eyes, nose and mouth should be. The man screams in fear and runs up the hill as fast as he can, away from the scene, not stopping to look back. He spots a lantern far up the road. Exalted, he runs towards it, although it turns out to be a lonely sober cellar rather than a dwelling. Upon reaching the cellar, he drops to the floor and breathlessly tries to explain what he just saw. The sober cellar replies, rather unsympathetically, "Was it something like this?" and waves a hand across his face, after which all his features disappear and the entire area becomes dark. Now, there is a name for these faceless creatures. They are referred to as Nepero Bow, or faceless ghost, which are Japanese yokai that look like a human but have no face at all. They are primarily known for frightening humans, but are usually otherwise harmless. They will appear at first as ordinary people before causing their features to disappear. Coming in at number 3, Atoya Kaiden. Atoya Kaiden is a haunting story of Oiwa and Tamiya Lemon, and is about betrayal, murder, and ghostly revenge, making it one of Japan's and Tokyo's most famous ghost stories of all time. The legend itself is based loosely on 2 historical characters, with it depicting a woman, Oiwa, who is gradually poisoned by her husband due to the fact that she is having an extramarital affair. It is said that he presents the poison to her via face cream, which slowly eats away at her face, resulting in her having a lopsided and drooping appearance. Now, here's where the legend varies depending on which version of the story you are hearing. But it is said that Oiwa either accidentally cuts her throat and curses Tamiya's name while dying, or she is killed by Tamiya himself, or even dies of natural causes. Regardless of the cause of death, she comes back to haunt him when he marries the woman he had an affair with. It is also stated that when Tamiya weds his new wife, he lifts up the veil of his new bride. Oiwa's face appears instead. In shock and out of fear, he attacks her with his sword, halting the apparitions, but ultimately revealing that he has just killed his new bride. It is said that this may be based on 2 real-life murders, ultimately combining fact and fiction. The first involved 2 servants who had murdered their respective masters. They were caught and executed on the same day. The second murder was from a samurai who discovered his concubine was having an affair with a servant. The samurai had the faithless concubine and servant nailed to a wooden board and thrown into the Kanda River. Coming in at number 2, Akamanto/Red Cape. Akamanto, or the Red Cape, is a Japanese urban legend about a masked spirit who wears a red cloak, and who is said to appear to people using toilets in public or school bathrooms. Accounts of course vary, but one consistent element of the story is that the spirit will ask the person in the bathroom a question. In some versions he will ask if they want red paper or blue paper, though other versions state a red cloak or a blue cloak, or a red cape or a blue cape. Regardless of what it is always blue or red, and regardless of the colour, no matter what option is selected, the person will always be killed. Specifically, if the person chooses the red option, they will be lacerated in such a manner that their body will be drenched in their own blood. Lovely. If the person chooses the blue option, the consequences range from that of the person being strangled to all of the person's blood being drained from their body. So what you must do is ignore the spirit, run away, or reject both options in order to survive. However, if an individual attempts to outsmart Akamanto by asking for a different colour of cloak or cape, it is said that they will be dragged to an underworld or hell as a result. Author and folklorist Matthew Meyer has stated that the Akamanto has been recorded as a schoolyard rumour since the 1930s. Also more recently in the 2003 video game Castlevania Area of Sorrow, an enemy is featured known as Killer Mantle, which may have been based on the Akamanto legend. And finally coming in at number 1, the Curse of Masakado. Taira no Masakado was a samurai in Japan who led one of the largest insurgent forces in the period against the central government of Kyoto. In 939, during the Heian period of Japanese history, Masakado led a minor rebellion which began when Masakado led an attack on the outpost of the central government in Hitachi province, capturing the governor. This resulted in Masakado becoming the new emperor. Over the centuries, Masakado became a demigod of sorts to the locals, with some even feeling the need to appease his malevolent spirit. Masakado ultimately met his end in a rather grisly manner, decapitated. His bodiless head oddly enough managed to be preserved remarkably well until it was eventually buried. Now his grave lies in Tokyo near the Otemachi subway station, and it is said that removing or relocating it has been proven incredibly difficult, with many attempts resulting in those being plagued by misfortune. When the nearby Ministry of Finance tried to level the hill after 1923, 14 workers related to the project started dropping dead like flies from accidents or other bizarre incidents. It is said that the curse still exists to this day, with various stories of people becoming ill or dying after the shrine had been messed with. People have learned their lesson though and rarely touch it. It's even said that desks inside the buildings around the shrine are placed so as to not make anyone sit with their back to Masakado. Well, there we have it. Do you guys agree with that list with only Tokyo urban legends that we missed? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below, and perhaps we can do a part 2. Before I go though, I just want to respond to a few comments from one of our last videos, top 5 scary haunted house urban legends. The Baroque Trickster said, Lucy in a haunted house, quiet like a little mouse. That's a really creepy comment now that I've read it out. Didn't seem so weird when I was writing it down, but pretty weird reading it out. But I am quiet like a mouse. My sister calls me Spider. That's her nickname for me. She has me in her phone as Spider. It's because I'm scary but also quiet like a spider. You never know when I'm around. Dennis Groot said, what if you got paid to live in the most haunted houses as a job? Would you take it? No, I'm not a crazy person. I would not take it. I would just stick with the job I have now because I enjoy it. I don't have to go to haunted places. So, no. Bubbles Artwork said, I love watching your videos, Queen Lucy. It's my birthday in 2 weeks. Would love a happy birthday shout out from our queen. Well, happy birthday, Bubbles Artwork. I hope you have a great time doing whatever you're gonna do. Who knows? Who knows? Shirio88 said, I love Halloween, that's why I'm getting hitched in October. The smell of fall makes me so happy. I love Halloween too and I can't wait. I can't wait until it's colder and I can start wearing jackets again because I hate the summer. The summer sucks and I like leaves on the grounds and I like hot drinks. That's how I feel. Makes me happy. Tacy said, I couldn't help but notice and it was distracting, but Lucy, are you having fun turning in that chair because it looks fun? Where is my turn? Okay, so I honestly don't know what you're talking about, but I'm starting to think that you think I'm filming sitting down. I'm not. I just move my body like this. I move like this a lot. I don't move my feet, but I spin. I'm not in a chair. I'm quite literally standing on my own 2 feet. So if you thought I was in a chair, I'm sorry to break the illusion. Lee Noble said, is that a most amazing hoodie I see? Yes, it's the perks of working for the same company. I get free merch. And on that note, if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another scary vid. And until next time, see you later. Ayama Cemetery. Ayama. I'll say Kaiden. I don't know. I'm very English. It doesn't. It's like, I don't know what to do. I don't want, either way, I feel bad that I'm butchering this. Atoya Kaiden. Or Kaiden. Oh, sorry editors, this is hard.